each moment a jewel, crystal unclear. The past and future slip away. We're caught in the music, here to stay. Oh, dance with me beneath the sky, where whispers hum and shadows sigh. The world fades out, it's just us two. A moonlight serenade for you. It's 2:30, the bar's nearly closed. The jukebox hums a tune I used to know. Ashtrays full, glasses left behind. Smoke and perfume still hanging in time. Starlight and cigarettes, lonely hearts and silhouettes, dancing slow in midnight's haze, fading dreams and yesterdays. Tired piano, her song is through. Bartenders wiping down the midnight blues. My coat in hand, but I hesitate. One last look before it's too late. Starlight and cigarettes, lonely hearts and silhouettes, dancing slow in midnight's haze, fading dreams and yesterdays. Maybe tomorrow I'll find the sun, but darling, tonight there's only one. That quiet song, that final round, empty chairs and hollow sound. Starlight and cigarettes, lonely hearts and silhouettes, underneath these neon signs, I leave my name between the lines. Velvet afternoon, sunlight so slow, curtains swaying in a golden glow, record spinning an old love tune, shadows dancing in the living room. Velvet afternoon, sweet and clear, moments fading.
Oh, that's weird. You're showing up in Streamlabs chat. You're not showing up on YouTube. That's weird.
Sipping tea,
I don't even know why Streamlabs is active now. That's usually a Twitch thing. I didn't even know it connected to the YouTube. Come over to YouTube. Over to YouTube. That's where I'm hanging out. I'm not hanging out on Twitch. Come on by if you'd like. Oh yeah, Ultimate Deadpool. YouTube exclusive. Yeah, I'm not really tired. I took like a 5-minute nap. I woke up and I'm like not tired anymore. And I just decided to draw. I was thinking of putting on like an audiobook, see if that helped me get me a little tired. Yeah, that's what I was gonna do actually. It reminded me. I'm gonna put on the YouTube audiobook. The only audiobook I have on right now though is like Coraline. Oh wait, I have other ones. No, I have other ones.
Sipping tea, lost in a rhyme. Velvet afternoon, frozen in time. And when the moon begins to rise, I'll close my eyes. No need for good.
I haven't watched this one yet.
Hello,
I just want to get tired.
and welcome to Soothing Pod's Sleep
can help me.
Stories. My name is Arif, and tonight I will be your guide as we embark on a journey that will guide us through the sleepy,
You know,
peaceful
tired, 100
worlds
push-ups.
of the people of antiquity.
There's no way I'd be able to do 100 push-ups.
We will explore the land of sleep with Morpheus, the god of dreams, as he spends a serene night guiding people through their deepest longings, passing divine messages to them, and helping them find serenity and comfort both within themselves and without. Before we embark on this journey together, however, let us take a moment to relax and find comfort in the place that we are in, here and now. Close your eyes and allow your body to sink into the mattress beneath you.
You should put on the stream
There
while you're
are
trying to go to
no
sleep.
obligations here. There is no to-do list. By simply closing your eyes and listening to the sound of my voice, you are already giving your body the rest that it deserves. The sleep will come in due time, but the rest has already begun. With your eyes still closed and your body sinking deeper and deeper into the mattress with each breath you take, I want you to try and imagine that you are not in your bed at all. Instead, you are lying on top of plush, soft, fresh grass.
This YouTube emotes suck beside this. That's why you gotta
You
get me
feel the
monetized so I can add
grass
my
and
emotes to
soil
YouTube.
gently cradling your body, inviting you to let go of any tension you might be feeling and simply be. You can smell the bright, citrusy aroma of the grass around you and the earthy, soothing smell of the soil beneath you. But along with those lovely, relaxing scents, there is something even more beautiful that you are breathing in with each breath. You smell wildflowers, and when you look around you, you discover that you are not just lying in the grass. You are lying in a stunning, expansive field full of beautiful wildflowers. The world around you is a mosaic of pink, orange, yellow, blue,
Yeah, no, I don't want this one.
green, purple.
Skip to the story.
The land of dreams was a remarkable, wonderful place found in a rather peculiar
Actually,
setting.
no. Let's put on Coraline.
Coraline by Neil Gaiman.
I prefer
Chapter
Coraline.
1. Coraline discovered the door a little while after they moved into the house. It was a very old house. It had an attic under the roof and a cellar under the ground and an overgrown garden with huge old trees in it. Coraline's family didn't own all of the house. It was too big for that. Instead, they owned part of it. There were other people who lived in the old house. Miss Spink and Miss Forcible lived in the flat below Coraline's on the ground floor. They were both old and round, and they lived in their flat with a number of aging Highland Terriers who had names like Hamish and Andrew and Jock. Once upon a time, Miss Spink and Miss Forcible had been actresses, as Miss Spink told Coraline the first time she met her. "You see, Caroline," Miss Spink said, getting Coraline's name wrong, "both myself and Miss Forcible were famous actresses in our time. We trod the boards, lovey. Oh, don't let Hamish eat the fruitcake or he'll be up all night with his tummy." "It's Coraline, not Caroline. Coraline," said Coraline. In the flat above Coraline's, under the roof, was a crazy old man with a big mustache. He told Coraline that he was training a mouse circus. He wouldn't let anyone see it. "One day, little Caroline, when they are all ready, everyone in the world will see the wonders of my mouse circus. You ask me why you cannot see it now? Is that what you asked me?" "No," said Coraline quietly. "I asked you not to call me Caroline. It's Coraline." "The reason you cannot see the mouse circus," said the man upstairs, "is that the mice are not yet ready and rehearsed. Also, they refuse to play the songs I have written for them. All the songs I have written for the mice to play go oompa, oompa, but the white mice will only play toodle oodle, like that. I am thinking of trying them on different types of cheese." Coraline didn't think there was really a mouse circus. She thought the old man was probably making it up. The day after they moved in, Coraline went exploring. She explored the garden. It was a big garden. At the very back was an old tennis court, but no one in the house played tennis, and the fence around the court had holes in it, and the net had mostly rotted away. There was an old rose garden filled with stunted, fly-blown roses. There was a rockery that was all rocks. There was a fairy ring made of squidgy brown toadstools, which smelled dreadful if you accidentally trod on them. There was also a well. On the first day Coraline's family moved in, Miss Spink and Miss Forcible made a point of telling Coraline how dangerous the well was, and they warned her to be sure to keep away from it. So Coraline set off to explore for it, so she knew where it was, to keep away from it properly. She found it on the third day, in an overgrown meadow beside the tennis court, behind a clump of trees. A low brick circle almost hidden in the high grass. The well had been covered up by wooden boards to stop anyone falling in. There was a small knothole in one of the boards, and Coraline spent an afternoon dropping pebbles and acorns through the hole and waiting and counting until she heard the plop as they hit the water far below. Coraline also explored for animals. She found a hedgehog and a snakeskin, but no snake, and a rock that looked just like a frog, and a toad that looked just like a rock. There was also a haughty black cat who sat on the walls and tree stumps and watched her, but slipped away if she ever tried to go over and play with it. That was how she spent her first 2 weeks in the house, exploring the garden and the grounds. Her mother made her come back inside for dinner and for lunch, and
It's
Coraline had to
1,000
make
subs
sure
and
she dressed up
4,000
warm
watch
before she
hours
went
or
out.
10
For it was a
million
very cold
shorts we
summer
used to
that
get
year.
monetized.
But go outside
Yeah,
she
I
did,
know.
exploring every
I
day
know.
until the
I've
day it
never
rained
said it
when
was
Coraline
easy.
had to stay inside.
Just said,
What should I do?
To do it.
asked Coraline.
help me.
Read a book? Said her mother. Watch a video? Play with your toys? Go and pester Miss Spink and Miss Forcible? Or the crazy old man upstairs? No, said Coraline. I don't want to do those things. I want to explore. I don't really mind what you do, said Coraline's mother, as long as you don't make a mess. Coraline went over to the window and watched the rain come down. It wasn't the kind of rain you could go out in. It was the other kind, the kind that threw itself down from the sky and splashed where it landed. It was rain that meant business, and currently its business was turning the garden into a muddy, wet soup. Coraline had watched all the videos. She was bored with her toys, and she'd read all her books. She turned on the television. She went from channel to channel, but there was nothing on but men in suits talking about the stock market and talk shows. Eventually, she found something to watch. It was the last half of a natural history program about something called protective coloration. She watched animals, birds, and insects which disguised themselves as leaves or twigs or other animals to escape from things that could hurt them. She enjoyed it, but it ended too soon and was followed by a program about a cake factory. It was time to talk to her father. Coraline's father was home. Both of her parents worked doing things on computers, which meant that they were home a lot of the time. Each of them had their own study. "Hello, Coraline," he said when she came in without turning around. "Umph," said Coraline. "It's raining." "Yup," said her father. "It's bucketing down." "No," said Coraline. "It's just raining. Can I go outside?" "What does your mother say?" "She says you're not going out in the weather like that, Coraline Jones." "Then no." "But I want to carry on exploring." "Then explore the flat," suggested her father. "Look, here's a piece of paper and a pen. Count all the doors and the windows. List everything blue. Mount an expedition to discover the hot water tank. And then leave me alone to work." "Can I go out into the drawing room?" The drawing room was where the Joneses kept the expensive and uncomfortable furniture Coraline's grandmother had left them when she died. Coraline wasn't allowed in there. Nobody went in there. It was only for best. "If you don't make a mess and you don't touch anything." Coraline considered this carefully. Then she took the paper and pen and went off to explore the inside of the flat. She discovered the hot water tank. It was in a cupboard in the kitchen. She counted everything blue, 153. She counted the windows, 21. She counted the doors, 14. Of the doors that she found, 13 opened and closed. The other, the big, carved brown door at the far corner of the drawing room, was locked. She said to her mother, "Where does that door go?" "Nowhere, dear. It has to go somewhere." Her mother shook her head. "Look," she told Coraline. She reached up and took a string of keys from the top of the kitchen door frame. She sorted through them carefully and selected the oldest, biggest, blackest, rustiest key. They went into the drawing room. She unlocked the door with the key. The door swung open. Her mother was right. The door didn't go anywhere. It opened onto a brick wall. "When this place was just one house," said Coraline's mother, "that door went somewhere. When they turned this house into flats, they simply bricked it up. The other side is the empty flat on the other side of the house, the one that's still for sale." She shut the door and put the string of keys back on top of the kitchen door frame. "You didn't lock it," said Coraline. Her mother shrugged. "Why should I lock it?" she asked. "It doesn't go anywhere." Coraline didn't say anything. It was nearly dark outside now, and the rain was still coming down, patting against the windows and blurring the light of the cars in the street outside. Coraline's father stopped working and made them all dinner. Coraline was disgusted. "Daddy," she said, "you've made a recipe again?" It's leek and potato stew with a tarragon garnish and melted Gruyere cheese, he admitted. Coraline sighed. Then she went to the freezer and got out some microwave chips and a microwave mini pizza. You know I don't like recipes, she told her father, while her dinner went around and around and the little red numbers on the microwave oven counted down to 0. If you tried it, maybe you'd like it, said Coraline's father, but she shook her head. That night, Coraline lay awake in her bed. The rain had stopped, and she was almost asleep when something went t-t-t-t-t-t. She sat up. Something went creak. Coraline got out of bed and looked down the hall, but saw nothing strange. She walked down the hall. From her parents' bedroom came a low snoring. That was her father, and an occasional sleeping mutter. That was her mother. Coraline wondered if she dreamed it, whatever it was. Something moved. It was a little more than a shadow, and it scuttled down the darkened hall fast, like a little patch of night. She hoped it wasn't a spider. Spiders made Coraline intensely uncomfortable.
Same.
The black shape went into the drawing room, and Coraline followed a little nervously. The room was dark. The only light came from the hall, and Coraline, who was standing in the doorway, cast a huge and distorted shadow onto the drawing room carpet. She looked like a thin, giant woman. Coraline was just wondering whether or not she ought to turn on the lights when she saw the black shape edge slowly out from beneath the sofa. It paused and then dashed silently across the carpet towards the farthest corner of the room. There was no furniture in that corner of the room. Coraline turned on the light. There was nothing in the corner. Nothing but the old door that opened into the brick wall. She was sure that her mother had shut it, but now it was ever so slightly open, just a crack. Coraline went over to it and looked in. There was nothing there, just a wall built of red bricks. Coraline closed the old wooden door, turned the light, and went back to bed. She dreamed of black shapes that slid from place to place, avoiding the light until they were all gathered together under the moon. Little black shapes with little red eyes and sharp yellow teeth. They started to sing. We are small, but we are many. We are many, we are small. We were here before you rose. We will be here when you fall.
It's already wondering
Their
why I
voices
couldn't
were
see the
high
stream when
and
you went
whispering
live.
and slightly whiny. They made Coraline feel uncomfortable. Then Coraline dreamed a few more commercials, and after that, she dreamed of nothing at all. Chapter 2. The next day it had stopped raining, but a thick white fog had lowered over the house. I'm going for a walk, said Coraline. Don't go too far, said her mother, and dress up warmly. Coraline put on her blue coat with a hood, her red scarf, and her yellow Wellington boots. She went out. Miss Spink was walking her dogs. Hello, Coraline, said Miss Spinks. Rotten weather. Yes, said Coraline. I played Portia once, said Miss Spink.
How are you?
Miss
Hope you're doing
Forcible
good
talks
today.
about her Ophelia, but it was my Portia they came to see when we trot the boards.
Check Twitch first.
Miss Spink
Are you
was
feeling
bundled up in
still better?
pullovers and
Not
cardigans,
really.
so she
I'm
seemed
still
more
feeling
small and
pretty,
circular than ever.
bleh.
She looked like a large, fluffy egg. She wore
But-
thick glasses that made her eyes seem huge.
Let's see.
They used to send flowers to my dressing room.
No,
They
I'm thinking
did,
like when
she
it comes
said.
to like late night streams,
Who did?
like
asked
I
Coraline.
don't know, late.
Miss
I'll
Spink
shoot
looked
them on
around
YouTube.
cautiously,
I'm just
looking
gonna do
over
them on
first one
YouTube.
shoulder
Twitch
and
is
then
more
over the
like
other,
for when I'm
peering into
really
the mist
hyped up
as though
and
someone
stuff.
might be listening.
You know,
Man,
kind of like
she
we'll
whispered.
take
Then she tugged the
we'll
dogs
take Twitch
to heel
for
and waddled
the
off back
hype
towards
fun
the house.
streams, and
Coraline
we'll take
continued her
YouTube
walk.
for the chill
She was
streams.
3/4 of the way around the house
That's
when
kinda
she
what
saw
I'm
Miss
thinking.
Forcible standing at the door to the flat she shared with Miss Spink. Have you seen Miss Spink, Caroline? Coraline told her that she had, and that Miss Spink was out walking the dogs. I do hope she doesn't get lost. It'll bring on her shingles if she does, you see, said Miss Forcible. You'd have to be an explorer to find your way around this fog. I am an explorer, said Coraline. Of course you are, lovey,
look at
said
you
Miss
red.
Forcible. Don't get lost now. Coraline continued walking through the garden in the gray mist. She always kept sight of the house. After about 10 minutes of walking, she found herself back where she had started. The hair over her eyes was limp and wet, and her face felt damp. "Ahoy,
And then her
Caroline!"
shoe, but I
called
can't
the
read
crazy old
headphones
man
here.
upstairs.
Oh, I got a
"Oh,
solution.
hello," said Coraline.
I got a solution.
She could hardly see the old man through the mist. He walked down the steps on the outside of the house that led up past Coraline's front door to the door of his flat. He walked down very slowly. Coraline waited at the bottom of the stairs. "The mice do not like the mist," he told her. "It makes their whiskers
There you
droop."
go.
"I don't like the mist much either,"
How's that?
admitted Coraline. The old man leaned down, so close that the bottoms of his mustache tickled Coraline's ear. "The mice have a message for you," he whispered.
Thank you for
Coraline
the
didn't know what to
headpats.
say.
Thank
"The
you.
message is this. Don't
Thank
go
you.
through the door." He paused. "Does that mean anything to you?" "No," said Coraline. The old man shrugged. "They are funny, the mice. They get things wrong. They got your name wrong, you know. They kept saying Coraline, not Caroline. Not Caroline at all."
Does it
He
matter,
picked
like,
up a milk bottle
what
from the
kind
bottom of
of
the
milk
stairs and
blush?
started back up to his attic flat. Coraline
yeah,
went
it's all
indoors.
gonna be red for some
Her mother
reason.
was working in her study. Her mother's study smelled of flowers.
Really felt like you needed them.
"What shall I do?" asked
Yeah.
Coraline.
Just,
"When do you go
I
back
think
to
it's the
school?"
heat. I just
asked
think
her
it's
mother.
the heat.
"Next week," said Coraline.
I think it's the
"Humph,"
heat.
said her mother. "I suppose I shall have to get you new school clothes. Remind me, dear, or else I'll
I
forget."
don't understand why it's
And she
red.
went back to typing things on her computer screen. "What shall I do?" repeated Coraline. "Draw something." Her mother passed her a sheet of paper and a ballpoint pen. Coraline tried drawing the mist. After 10 minutes of drawing, she still had a white sheet of paper with M-I-S-T
Oh, there we go.
written on it in the corner in slightly wiggly letters. She grunted and passed it to her mother.
In case you didn't catch on, the
very
first my
modern,
name's
dear,
after Mana.
said
Yeah, I
Coraline's
know you're
mother.
Mana Seeker. I know you're
Coraline
Mana
crept
Seeker.
into the drawing room and tried to open the
I
old
know,
door
I
in the
know.
corner. It was locked once more. She
I
supposed her
know
mother must have
all of
locked
you
it again.
so well.
She shrugged.
Well, the most of
Coraline
you.
went to see her father. He had his back to the door as he typed.
Cute.
"Go
Thank you, Black
away,"
Serena.
he said
How are
cheerfully
you
as she
doing? I
walked
hope you're
in.
doing good today.
"I'm bored," she said. "Learn how to tap dance," he suggested without turning around. Coraline shook her head. "Why don't you play with me?" she asked. "Busy," he said. "Working," he added. He still hadn't turned around to look at her. "Why don't you go and bother Miss Spink and Miss Forcible?" Coraline put on her coat and pulled up her hood and went out of the house. She went downstairs. She rang the door of Miss Spink and Miss Forcible's flat. Coraline could hear a frenzied woofing as the Scotty dogs ran into the hall. After a while, Miss Spink opened the door. "Oh, it's you, Caroline," she said. "Angus, Hamish, Bruce, down now, lovies. It's only Caroline. Come in, dear. Would you like a cup of tea?" The flat smelled of furniture polish and dogs. "Yes, please," said Coraline. Miss Spink led her into a dusty little room which she called the parlor. On the walls were black and white photographs of pretty women and theater programs in frames. Miss Forcible was sitting in an armchair, knitting hard. They poured Coraline a cup of tea in a little pink bone china cup with a saucer. They gave her a dry Garibaldi biscuit to go with it. Miss Forcible looked at Miss Spink, picked up her knitting, and took a deep breath. "Anyway, April, as I was saying, you have to admit there's life in the old dog yet. Miriam, dear, neither of us is as young as we were."
Right.
"Madame Arcati," replied
Really
Miss
quick
Forcible.
out.
"The nurse in Romeo, Lady Bracknell. Character parts, they can't retire you from the stage." "Now, Miriam, we agreed," said Miss Spink. Coraline wondered if they'd forgotten she was there. They weren't making much sense. She decided they were having an argument as old and uncomfortable as an armchair,
No.
the kind of argument that no one ever really wins or loses, but which can go on forever if both parties are willing. She sipped her tea. "I'll read the leaves if you want," said Miss Spink to Coraline.
Sorry?
Said Coraline.
The tea leaves, dear. I'll read your future.
Coraline passed Miss Spink her cup. Miss Spink peered short-sightedly at the black
I think
leaves in
I'll
the
start
bottom.
again.
She pursed her lips.
You know, Caroline, she said after a while, you are in terrible danger.
Miss
Yeah, I think
Forcible
I'll start
snorted
again.
and put
Let me
down
try
her
my
knitting.
other program.
Don't be silly, April. Stop scaring the girl. Your eyes are going. Pass me that cup, child.
Coraline carried the cup over to Miss Forcible. Miss Forcible looked into it carefully, shook her head, and looked into it again.
Oh, dear, she said. You were right, April. She is in danger. See, Miriam, said Miss Spink triumphantly. My eyes are as good as they ever were.
What am I in danger from? Asked Coraline. Mrs. Spink and Forcible stared at her blankly.
It didn't say, said Miss Spink. Tea leaves aren't reliable for that kind of thing. Not really. They're good for general, but not for specifics.
What should I do then? Asked Coraline, who was slightly alarmed by this.
Don't wear green in your dressing room,
suggested Miss Spink.
or mention the Scottish play,
added Miss Forcible. Coraline wondered why so few of the adults she had met made any sense. She sometimes wondered who they thought they were talking to.
And be very, very careful,
said Miss Spink. She got up from an armchair and went over to the fireplace. On the mantelpiece was a small jar, and Miss Spink took off the top of the jar and began to pull things out of it.
Draw animals.
There was a tiny china duck, a thimble, a strange little brass coin, 2 paper clips, and a stone with a hole in it. She passed Coraline the stone with the hole in it. "What's it for?" asked Coraline. The hole went all the way through the middle of the stone. She held it up to the window and looked through it.
"It might help," said Miss Spink. "They're good for bad things sometimes."
Coraline put on her coat, said goodbye to Mrs. Spink and Forcible and to the dogs, and went outside.
Let's try this.
The mist hung like blindness around the house. She walked slowly to the stairs, up to her family's flat, and then stopped and looked around. In the mist, it was a ghost world. In danger? Thought Coraline to herself. It sounded exciting. It didn't sound like a bad thing. Not really.
That would be cool to draw.
Coraline
a
went back
humanoid
upstairs, her fist closed tightly around her new stone. Chapter 3. The next day the sun shone, and Coraline's mother took her into the nearest large town to buy clothes for school. They dropped her father off at the railway station. He was going into London for the day to see some people. Coraline waved him goodbye. They went to the department store to buy the school clothes first. Coraline saw some day-glow green gloves she liked a lot.
Wait, I forgot.
Her mother refused to buy them for her, preferring instead to buy white socks, navy blue school underpants, 4 gray blouses, and a dark gray skirt. "But Mom, everybody at school's got gray blouses and everything. Nobody's got green gloves. I could be the only one." Her mother ignored her. She was talking to the shop assistant. They were talking about which kinds of sweaters to get for Coraline, and were agreeing that the best thing to do would be get one that was embarrassingly large and baggy, in the hopes that one day she might grow into it. Coraline wandered off and looked at the display of Wellington boots shaped like frogs and ducks and rabbits. Then she wandered back. "Coraline? Oh, there you are. Where on earth were you?" "I was kidnapped by aliens," said Coraline. "They came down from outer space with ray guns, but I fooled them by wearing a wig and laughing in a foreign accent, and I escaped." "Yes, dear. Now, I think you could do with some more hair clips, don't you?" "No." "Well, let's say half a dozen to be on the safe side," said her mother. Coraline
Like
didn't say
this.
anything. In the car on the way back home, Coraline said, "What's in the empty flat?" "I don't know. Nothing, I expect. It probably looks like our flat before we moved in. Empty rooms. Do you think you could get into it from our flat?" "Not unless you can walk through bricks, dear." "Oh." They got home around lunchtime. The sun was shining, although the day was cold. Coraline's mother looked in the fridge and found a little sad tomato and a piece of cheese with green stuff growing on it. There was only a crust in the bread bin. "I'd better dash down to the shops and grab some fish fingers or something," said her mother. "Do you want to come?"
It doesn't have that
"No,"
tool in this one.
said Coraline. "Suit yourself," said her mother, and left. Then she came back and got her purse and car keys and went out again. Coraline was bored.
A
She flipped
bear.
through a book her mother was reading about native people in a distant country, how every day they would take pieces of white silk and draw on them in wax, then dip the silks in dye, then draw on them more in wax and dye them some more, then boil the wax out in hot water, and then finally throw the now beautiful cloth on a fire and burn them to ashes.
I don't like that.
It seemed particularly pointless to Coraline, but she hoped that the people enjoyed it. She was still bored and her mother wasn't home yet. Coraline got a chair and pushed it over to the kitchen door. She climbed onto the chair and reached up. She got down, then got a broom from the broom cupboard. She climbed back on the chair again and reached up with the broom. Chink! She climbed down from the chair and picked up the keys. She smiled triumphantly. Then she leaned the broom against the wall and went into the drawing room. The family didn't use the drawing room. They had inherited the furniture from Coraline's grandmother, along with a wooden coffee table, a side table, a heavy glass ashtray, and the oil painting of a bowl of fruit. Coraline could never work out why anyone would want to paint a bowl of fruit. Other than that, the room was empty. There were no knickknacks on the mantelpiece, no statues or clocks, nothing that made it feel comfortable or lived in.
Let's see.
The old black key felt colder than any of the others. She pushed it into the keyhole and turned smoothly, with a
Oh,
satisfying
it does work.
clunk. Coraline stopped and listened. She knew she was doing something wrong,
Look at that.
and she was trying to listen for her mother coming back, but she heard nothing. Then Coraline put her hand on the doorknob and turned it, and finally she opened the door. It opened into a dark hallway. The bricks had gone as if they had never been there before. There was a cold, musty smell coming through the open doorway. It smelt like something very old and very slow. Coraline went through the door. She wondered what the empty flat would be like, if that was where the corridor led. Coraline walked down the corridor uneasily. There was something very familiar about it. The carpet beneath her feet was the same carpet they had in the flat. The wallpaper was the same wallpaper they had. The picture hanging on the wall was the same that they had hanging in their hallway at home. She knew where she was. She was in her own home. She hadn't left. She shook her head, confused. She stared at the picture hanging on the wall. No, it wasn't exactly the same. The picture they had in their own hallway showed a boy in old-fashioned clothes, staring at some bubbles. But now the expression on his face was different. He was looking at the bubbles as if he was planning to do something very nasty indeed to them. And there was something peculiar about his eyes. Coraline stared at his eyes, trying to figure out what exactly was different. She almost had it when somebody said, "Coraline?" It sounded like her mother. Coraline went into the kitchen where the voice had come from. A woman stood in the kitchen with her back to Coraline. She looked a little like Coraline's mother, only her
It's
skin
the
was
other
white as
mother.
paper. Only she was taller and thinner. Only her fingers were too long, and they never stopped moving, and her dark red fingernails were curved and sharp. "Coraline," the woman said, "is that you?" And then she turned around. Her eyes were big black buttons.
Oh,
"Lunchtime, Coraline," said the woman. "Who are you?" asked Coraline. "I'm your other mother," said the woman. "Go and tell your other father that lunch is ready." She opened the door to the oven. Suddenly, Coraline realized how hungry she was. It smelled wonderful. "Well, go on." Coraline went down the hall to where her father's study was. She opened the door. There was a man in there, sitting at the keyboard with his back to her.
I'm just gonna
"Hello,"
drop freestyle.
said
you know?
Coraline. I mean, she said to say that lunch is ready." The man turned around. His eyes were buttons, big and black and shiny. "Hello, Coraline," he said. "I'm starving." He got up and went into the kitchen with
Doesn't
her.
even sing
They
the
sat at the kitchen
song.
table, and Coraline's other mother brought them lunch. A huge golden brown roasted chicken, fried potatoes, tiny green peas. Coraline shoveled the food into her mouth. It tasted wonderful. "We've been waiting for you for a long time," said Coraline's other father. "For me?" "Yes," said the other mother. "It wasn't the same here without you, but we knew you'd arrive one
Good
day,
idea.
and then we'd be a proper family. Would you like some more chicken?" It was the best chicken that Coraline had ever eaten.
Oh, I'm
Her
gonna
mother
make the
sometimes made
chicken
chicken, but it
katsu.
was always out of packets or frozen, and was very
I still
dry.
gotta do that
And it
cooking
never
stream.
tasted of
I
anything.
know. I gotta do the
When
cooking
Coraline's
stream.
father cooked chicken, he bought real chicken, but he did a strange thing to it, like stewing it in wine, or stuffing it with prunes, or baking it in pastry, and Coraline would always refuse to touch it on principle. She took some more chicken. "I didn't know I had another mother," said Coraline
Of course
cautiously.
you do. Everyone
"Of course
does.
you do. Everyone does," said the other mother, her black button eyes gleaming. "After lunch, I thought you might like to play in your room with the rats." "The rats?" "From upstairs." Coraline had never seen a rat except on television. She was quite looking forward to it. This was turning out to be a very interesting day after all. After lunch, her other parents did the washing up, and Coraline went down the hall to the other bedroom. It was different from her bedroom at home. For a start, it was painted in an off-putting shade of
Beef
green and a
Wellington.
peculiar shade of pink. Coraline decided that she didn't want to have to sleep in there,
I
but that
do
the color
not
scheme was
think
an
I
awful
am
lot
no
more
Gordon
interesting than her
Ramsay.
own
I'll say
bedroom.
that. I am no
There were all
Gordon
sorts
Ramsay.
of remarkable things in there she'd never seen before. Wind-up angels that fluttered around the bedroom like startled sparrows, books with pictures that withered and crawled and shimmered, little dinosaur skulls that chattered their teeth as she passed. A whole toy box filled with wonderful toys. "This is more like it," thought Coraline. She looked out of the
Look at
window.
all the toys.
Outside, the view was the same one that she saw from her own bedroom. Trees, fields, and beyond them, on the horizon,
Like
distant
her house
purple
kitchen.
hills. Something black scurried across the floor and vanished under the bed. Coraline got down on
I'd
her
like
knees
to
and looked under the
try.
bed. 50 little red eyes stared back at her. "Hello," said Coraline. "Are you the rats?" They came out from under the bed, blinking their eyes in the light. They had short, soot-black fur, little red eyes, pink paws like tiny hands, and pink hairless tails like long, smooth worms. "Can you talk?" she asked. The largest, blackest of the
Look,
rats
I can
shook its
understand
head.
English.
It had an unpleasant sort of smile, Coraline thought. "Well," asked Coraline, "what do you do?" The rats formed a circle. Then they began to climb on top of each other, carefully but swiftly, until they formed a pyramid with the largest rat at the top. The rats began to sing in high, whispery voices. "We have teeth and we have tails. We have tails. We have eyes. We were here before you fell. You will be here when we rise." It wasn't a pretty song. Coraline was sure that she had heard it before, or something like it, although she was unable to remember exactly where.
You can be.
Then the
No,
pyramid
like I
fell
said, I'm
apart,
gonna
and the
make
rats
the
scampered
chicken katsu.
fast and black towards the door. The other
And you're
crazy
gonna
old
love
man
it.
upstairs was
You're
standing
gonna
in the
love it.
doorway, holding a tall black hat in his hands. The rats scampered up him, burrowing
You know
into
what
his
sucks, though?
pockets,
It's like-
into his shirt, up
It
his
was like
trouser
30
leg,
degrees.
down his
It was
neck.
like 30 degrees
The
today.
largest rat climbed onto
I
the old
didn't
man's
even
shoulders,
make
swung
dinner.
up onto
I
the
ate
long gray
leftovers
mustache,
from yesterday because
past
it
the
was
big
way
black
too
button
hot.
eyes, and onto the top of the man's head. In seconds, the only evidence that the rats were there at all were the restless lumps under the man's clothes, forever sliding from place to place across him. And there was still the largest rat, who stared down with glittering red eyes at Coraline from the man's head. The old man put his hat on, and the last rat was gone. "Hello, Coraline," said the other old man upstairs. "I heard you were here. It's time for the rats to have their dinner, but you can come up with me if you would like and watch them feed." There was something hungry in the old man's button eyes that made Coraline feel uncomfortable. "No, thank you," she said. "I'm going outside to explore." The old man nodded very slowly. Coraline could hear the rats whispering to each other, although she couldn't tell what they were saying. She was not certain that she wanted to know what they were saying. Her other parents stood in the kitchen doorway as she walked down the corridor, smiling identical smiles and waving slowly. "Have a nice time outside," said her other mother. "We'll just wait here for you to come back," said her other father. When Coraline got to the front door, she turned back and looked at them. They were still watching her and waving and smiling. Coraline walked outside and down the steps. Chapter 4.
When does the cat talk?
The house looked exactly the same from the outside, or almost exactly the same. Around Miss Spink and Miss Forcible's door were blue and red light bulbs that flashed on and off, spelling out words, the lights chasing each other around the door, on and off, around and around. Astounding was followed by a theatrical, and then triumph. It was a sunny, cold day, exactly like the one she'd left. There was a polite noise from behind her. She turned around. Standing on the wall next to her was a large black cat, identical to the large black cat she had seen in the grounds at home. "Good afternoon," said the cat.
The talking
Its
cat.
voice sounded like the voice at the back of Coraline's head. The voice she thought words in, but a man's voice, not a girl's. "Hello," said Coraline. "I saw a cat like you in the garden at home. You must be the other cat." The
They
cat
both
shook its
just had
head.
leftovers for dinner.
"No," it said.
It was just way too
"I'm
hot.
not the other anything. I'm me." It tipped its head to
Ah,
one
Keith
side.
David
Green eyes
voices the
glinted.
cat in Coraline.
people
Keith
are
David, my
spread all
favorite
over the
voice
place.
actor.
Cats, on the other hand, keep ourselves together, if you see what I mean. "I suppose, but if you're the same cat I saw at home, how can you talk?" Cats don't have shoulders, not like people do, but the cat shrugged in one smooth movement that started at the tip of his tail and ended in a raised movement of its whiskers. "I can talk." "Cats don't talk at home." "No," said the cat. "No," said
Well,
Coraline.
you're expert on other
The cat
things.
leapt smoothly from
After
the wall
all,
to the grassy
I'm
of
just a
Coraline's
big
feet.
fat wuss-puss.
It stared up at her.
Sorry, it's like that in the movie.
"Well,
I'm sorry.
you're the expert on these things," said the cat dryly. "After all, what would I know? I'm only a cat." It began to walk away, head and tail held high and proud. "Come back," said Coraline. "Please. I'm sorry, I really am." The cat stopped walking, sat down, and began to wash itself thoroughly, apparently unaware of Coraline's existence. We could be friends, you know," said Coraline.
No.
"We could be rare specimens of an exotic breed of African dancing elephants," said the cat. "But we're not. At least," it added cattily after darting a brief look at Coraline, "I'm not." Coraline sighed. "Please, what's your name?" Coraline asked the cat. "Look, I'm Coraline, okay?" The cat yawned slowly, carefully, revealing a mouth and tongue of astounding pinkness. "Cats don't have names," it said. "No?" said Coraline. "No," said the cat. "Now, you people have names. That's because you don't know who you are. We know who we are, so we don't need names." There was something irritatingly self-centered about the cat, Coraline decided, as if it were, in its own opinion, the only thing in any world or place that could possibly be of any importance. Half of her wanted to be very rude to it. The other half of her wanted to be polite and deferential. The polite half won. "Please, what is this place?" The cat glanced around briefly. "It's here," said the cat. "I can see that. Well, how did you get here?" "Like you did. I walked," said the cat. "Like this." Coraline watched as the cat walked slowly across the lawn. It walked behind a tree, but didn't come out of the other side. Coraline went over to the tree and looked behind it. The cat was gone. She walked back towards the house. There was another polite noise from behind her. It was the cat. "By the by," it said,
Oh, I'm
"it was
tired.
sensible of
Yay.
you to bring protection. I'd hang on to it
Protection?
if I were you." "Protection?" "That's what I said," said the cat. "And anyway," it paused and stared intently at something that wasn't there. Then it went down into a low crouch and moved slowly forward, 2 or 3 steps. It seemed to be stalking an invisible mouse. Abruptly, it turned tail and dashed for the woods. It vanished among the trees. Coraline
You know,
wondered what the cat had meant.
I
She
know
also wondered
the
whether cats
entire
could talk where
script
she
of
was
Coraline
from
the
and just
movie
chose not to,
because I
or whether
watched
they
it
could only
like
talk
daily
when
when
they
I
were
was
here,
younger.
wherever here was.
So you can like put the movie
She
on
walked
and I
down
will
the
know
brick
like
steps
every
to
single
Mrs.
line.
Spink and Forcible's front door. The blue and red lights flashed on and off. The door was opened just slightly. She knocked on it, but her first knock made the door swing open, and Coraline went in. She was in a dark room that smelled of dust and velvet. The door swung shut behind her, and the room was black. Coraline edged forward into a small anteroom. Her face brushed against something soft. It was cloth. She reached up her hand and pushed at the cloth. It parted. She stood blinking on the other side of the velvet curtain in a poorly lit theater. Far away at the edge of the room was a high wooden stage, empty and bare, a dim spotlight shining onto it from high above. There were seats between Coraline and the stage, rows and rows of seats. She heard a shuffling noise, and a light came towards her, swinging from side to side. When it was closer, she saw that the light was coming from a flashlight being carried in the mouth of a large black Scotty dog, its muzzle gray with age. "Hello," said Coraline. The dog put the flashlight down on the floor and looked up at her. "Right, let's see your ticket," he said gruffly. "Ticket?" "That's what I said. Ticket. I haven't got all day, you know. You can't watch the show without a ticket." Coraline sighed. "I don't have a ticket," she admitted. "Another one," said the dog gloomily. "Come in here bold as anything. Where's your ticket? Haven't got one? I don't know." It shook its head, then shrugged.
Oh my gosh.
"Come on, then."
It sucks.
He picked up the flashlight in his mouth and trotted off into the dark. Coraline followed him. When he got near the front of the stage, he stopped and shone the flashlight onto an empty seat. Coraline sat down and the dog wandered off. As her eyes got used to the darkness, she realized that the other inhabitants of the seats were also dogs. There was a sudden hissing noise from behind the stage. Coraline decided that it was the sound of scratchy old records being put onto a record player. The hissing became the noise of trumpets, and Miss Spink and Miss Forcible came onto the stage. Miss Spink was riding a one-wheeled bicycle and juggling balls. Miss Forcible skipped behind her, holding a basket of flowers. She scattered the flower petals across the stage as she went. They reached the front of the stage, and Miss Spink leapt nimbly off the unicycle, and the 2 old women bowed low. All the dogs thumped their
Gangsters.
tails and barked enthusiastically. Coraline clapped politely. Then they unbuttoned their fluffy round coats and opened them. But their coats weren't all that opened. Their faces opened too, like empty shells. And out of the old, empty, fluffy round bodies stepped 2 young women. They were thin and pale and quite pretty and had black button eyes. The new Miss Spink was wearing green tights and high brown boots that went most of the way up her leg. The new Miss Forcible wore a white dress and had flowers in her long yellow hair. Coraline pressed back against her seat. Miss Spink went off the stage, and the noise of trumpets squealed as the gramophone needle dug its way across the record and was pulled off. "This is my favorite bit," whispered the little dog in the seat next to her. The other Miss Forcible picked a knife out of a box on the corner of the stage. "Is this a dagger I see before me?" she asked. "Yes," shouted all the little dogs. "It is." Miss Forcible curtsied, and all the dogs applauded again. Coraline didn't bother clapping this time. Miss Spink came back on. She slapped her thigh and all the little dogs woofed.
And now, Miss Spink said, Miriam and I proudly present a new and exciting addendum to our theatrical exposition. Do I see a volunteer?
The little dog next to Coraline nudged her with its front paw. That's you, it hissed.
Yes.
Coraline stood
it
up and
me?
walked up the wooden steps to the stage.
Can I have a big round of applause for the young volunteer?
Asked Miss Spink. The dogs woofed and squealed and thumped their tails on the velvet seats.
Now, Coraline, said Miss Spink. What's your name?
Coraline, said Coraline.
And we don't know each other, do we?
Coraline looked at the thin young woman with black button eyes and shook her head slowly.
Now,
said the other Miss Spink.
Stand
I'll have to
over
fix that
there.
later.
She led Coraline over to a board by the side of the stage and put a balloon on top of Coraline's head. Miss Spink walked over to Miss Forcible. She blindfolded Miss Forcible's button eyes with a black scarf and put the knife into her hands. Then she turned her around 3 or 4 times and pointed her at Coraline. Coraline held her breath and squeezed her fingers into 2 tight fists. Miss Forcible threw the knife at the balloon. It popped loudly and the knife stuck into the board just above Coraline's head and twanged there. Coraline breathed out. The dogs went wild. Miss Spink gave Coraline a very small box of chocolates and thanked her for being such a good sport. Coraline went back to her seat. You were very good, said the little dog. Thank you, said Coraline. Miss Forcible and Miss Spink began juggling with huge wooden clubs. Coraline opened the box of chocolates. The dog looked at them longingly. Would you like one? She asked the little dog. Yes, please, whispered the little dog. Only not toffee ones. They make me drool. I thought chocolates weren't very good for dogs, she said, remembering something Miss Forcible had once told her. Maybe where you come from, whispered the little dog. Here, it's all we eat. Coraline couldn't see what the chocolates were in the dark. She took an experimental bite of one, which turned out to be coconut. Coraline
I was
didn't
gonna say
like coconut.
cocaine, and
She
I'm
gave
like,
it to the dog. Thank you, said the dog. You're welcome, said Coraline. Miss Forcible and Miss Spink were doing some acting. Miss Forcible was sitting on a stepladder and Miss Spink was standing at the bottom. What's in a name? Asked Miss Forcible. That which they call a rose by any other name would smell as sweet. Have you got any more chocolates? Said the dog. Coraline gave the dog another chocolate. I know not how to tell thee who I am, said Miss Spink to Miss Forcible. This bit finishes soon, whispered the dog. Then they start folk dancing. How long does this go on for? Asked Coraline. The theater. All the time, said the dog. Forever and always. Here, said Coraline. Keep the chocolates. Thank you, said the dog. Coraline stood up. See you soon, said the dog. Bye, said Coraline. She walked out of the theater and back into the garden. She had to blink her eyes at the daylight. Her other parents were waiting for her in the garden, standing side by side. They were smiling. Did you have a nice time? Asked her other mother. It was interesting, said Coraline. The 3 of them walked back up to Coraline's other house together. Coraline's other mother stroked Coraline's hair with her long white fingers. Coraline shook her head. Don't do that, said Coraline. Her other mother took her hand away. So, said her other father, do you like it here? I suppose, said Coraline. It's much more interesting than at home. They went inside. I'm glad you like it, said Coraline's mother, because we'd like to think that this is your home. You can stay here forever and always if you want to. Said Coraline. She put her hand in her pockets and thought about it. Her hand touched the stone that the real Mrs. Spink and Forcible had given her the day before, the stone with the hole in it. If you want to stay, said her other father, there's only one little thing that we'll have to do so you can stay here forever and always. They went into the kitchen. On a china plate on the kitchen table was a spool of black cotton and a long silver needle, and beside them, 2 large black buttons. "I don't think so," said Coraline. "Oh, but we want you to," said her other mother. "We want you to stay, and it's just a little thing." "It won't hurt," said her other father. Coraline knew that when grown-ups told you something wouldn't hurt, it almost always did. She shook her head. Her other mother smiled brightly, and the hair on her head drifted like plants under the sea. "We only want what's best for you," she said. She put her hand on Coraline's shoulder. Coraline backed away. "I'm going now," said Coraline. She put her hands in her pockets. Her fingers closed around the stone with the hole in it. Her other mother's hand scuttled off Coraline's shoulder like a frightened spider. "If that's what you want," she said. "Yes," said Coraline. "We'll see you soon, though," said her other father. "When you come back." Said Coraline. "And then we'll be all together as one big happy family," said her other mother, "forever and always." Coraline backed away. She turned and hurried into the drawing room and pulled open the door in the corner. There was no brick wall there now, just darkness. A night-black underground darkness that seemed as if things in it might be moving. Coraline hesitated. She turned back. Her other mother and her other father were walking toward her, holding hands. They were looking at her with their black button eyes. Or at least she thought they were looking at her. She couldn't be sure. Her other mother reached out her free hand and beckoned gently, with one white finger. Her pale lips mouthed, "Come back soon," although she said nothing aloud. Coraline took a deep breath and stepped into the darkness, where strange voices whispered and distant winds howled. She became certain that there was something in the dark behind her, something very old and very slow. Her heart beat so hard and so loud that she was scared it would burst out of her chest. She closed her eyes against the dark. Eventually she bumped into something and opened her eyes, startled. She had bumped into an armchair in her drawing room. The open doorway behind her was blocked by rough red bricks. She was home. Chapter 5. Coraline locked the door of the drawing room with the cold black key. She went back into the kitchen and climbed onto the chair. She tried to put the bunch of keys back on top of the door frame again. She tried 4 or 5 times before she was forced to accept that she just wasn't big enough, and she put them down on the counter next to the door. Her mother still hadn't returned from her shopping expedition. Coraline went to the freezer and took out a spare loaf of frozen bread in the bottom compartment. She made herself some toast with jam and peanut butter. She drank a glass of water. She waited for her parents to come back. When it began to get dark, Coraline microwaved herself a frozen pizza. Then, Coraline watched television. She wondered why all the grown-ups gave themselves all the good programs, with all the shouting and running around in. After a while, she started yawning. Then she undressed, brushed her teeth, and put herself to bed. In the morning, she went into her parents' room, but their bed hadn't been slept in, and they weren't around. She ate canned spaghetti for breakfast. For lunch, she had a block of cooking chocolate and an apple. The apple was yellow and slightly shriveled, but it tasted sweet and good. For tea, she went down to see Mrs. Spink and Forcible. She had 3 digestive biscuits, a glass of limeade, and a cup of weak tea. The limeade was very interesting. It didn't taste anything like limes. It tasted bright green and vaguely chemical. Coraline liked it enormously. She wished they had it at home. "How are your dear mother and father?" asked Miss Spink. "Missing," said Coraline. "I haven't seen either of them since yesterday. I'm on my own. I think I've probably become a single-child family." "Tell your mother that we found the Glasgow Empire press clippings we were telling her about. She seemed very interested when Miriam mentioned them to her." "She's vanished under mysterious circumstances," said Coraline. "And I believe my father has as well." "I'm afraid we'll be out all day tomorrow, Caroline, lovey," said Miss Forcible.
We'll be staying over with April's niece in Royal Tunbridge Wells.
They showed Coraline a photographic album with photographs of Miss Spink's niece in it, and then Coraline went home. She opened her money box and walked down to the supermarket. She bought 2 large bottles of limeade, a chocolate cake, and a new bag of apples, and went back home and ate them for dinner. She cleaned her teeth and went into her father's office. She woke up his computer and wrote a story. Coraline's story. There was a girl. Her name was Apple. She used to dance a lot. She danced and danced until her feet turned into sausages. The end. She printed out the story and turned off the computer. Then she drew a picture of the little girl dancing underneath the words of the paper. She ran herself a bath with too much bubble bath in it, and the bubbles ran over the side and went all over the floor. She dried herself and the floor as best as she could, and went to bed. Coraline woke up in the night. She went into her parents' bedroom, but the bed was made and empty. The glowing green numbers on the digital clock glowed 3:12 a.m. All alone in the middle of the night, Coraline began to cry. There was no other sound in the empty flat. She climbed into her parents' bed, and after a while, she went to sleep. Coraline was woken by cold paws batting her
I'm
face.
getting tired.
She opened her eyes.
See?
Big
Doing
green
art is
eyes
good
stared
because
back
you
at
can
her.
concentrate a lot.
It was the cat.
I mean,
"Hello,"
I know I didn't finish
said
it,
Coraline.
and it looks really bad,
"How did you get in?"
but
The cat didn't say anything. Coraline got out of bed. She was wearing a long t-shirt and pajama bottoms. "Have you come to tell me something?"
yes.
The cat yawned, which made its eyes flash green. "Do you know where Mommy and Daddy are?" The cat blinked at her slowly.
Yes.
"Is that a yes?" The cat blinked again. Coraline decided that was
Alright,
indeed
I'm
a
gonna
yes.
be here for today.
"Will you take me to them?" The cat stared at her. Then it walked out.
Buys that quiet song still in my head.
Okay. Let me get rid of all this.
As the pillow beneath my bed. Velvet afternoon, don't let go.
Okay.
Golden
Yeah, I'm gonna end it here for today. I'm tired now. It was a good idea. If you like these late night things where just chill because I can't go to sleep, then I don't know. Do you like it? I know I didn't talk a lot, but you know, I'm still on my like iffy feeling thing. Just not feeling great. Always remember to hear, feel, think. Finally getting some sleep. It got really late. Yeah, it's almost 12. It's a quarter to 12. So yeah, I think that's what it was. Okay. But I think I planned a collab on I planned a collab on Wednesday. With Mega Manuel. We're finally gonna continue playing Rayman. We haven't played Rayman in quite a while, and I've scheduled it. We've scheduled it twice, and I've had to cancel it twice because something like always comes up. And then I realized the best time to schedule a collab is not Friday to Saturday. Those are bad ideas. I mean, those are bad days for collabs, so I'm not planning on doing that anymore. Here, I'm gonna move this over here. Slacking on collabs. I really am. And I always feel so bad. I always feel really bad that I have to cancel. But like, it's always something, always one thing happens that like gets in the way, and it's really annoying. But, you know, what can you do? It's fine, I usually prefer to chat, but it was nice to check in on you. Yeah, I didn't really plan on like actually doing a lot of chatting. I didn't plan on doing a lot of chatting. It was just, I wanted to draw, because drawing makes me tired. And, yeah. That's pretty much it. But yes, I have been slacking on collabs. Well, he's my only collab partner too. I don't collab with anyone else. So, yeah. Let's see. I don't know. Will I be on tomorrow? I mean, for now I'll say maybe, and then I'll let you know in the Discord if I am or not. Yeah. But collab will definitely be on Wednesday. Will definitely be on Wednesday. I don't know what we're gonna do tomorrow. I don't know if you guys want to do some reactions of videos. I do want to upload reactions, but like I said, I am so like backed up on videos. Like I said yesterday, I still haven't finished my my uploads for the Danganronpa game, for the Danganronpa videos. I kind of want to do it when I go to bed today, but really don't want to. I just can't wait till I finally can start making money. The first thing I'm gonna do, besides fund the maid model, besides funding the maid model, I'm gonna find somebody to edit for me. No videos in 2 months. No long form videos in 2 months. I upload shorts daily. I'm a daily uploader when it comes to shorts, okay? Okay, don't try and go like that. Shorts don't count. And what? Do you wanna edit? Do you wanna edit? I'm more than happy to have you edit. I don't know, I just get lazy. I just get so lazy, and I know that's bad. But what can you do? But tell me if you like chill streams on YouTube. I don't mind not streaming on Twitch if it means if we're doing like low energy just chatting stuff, then we can do this on YouTube. Of course I can dual stream too, stream on both. But sometimes I feel like it's nice to just be on YouTube for once. YouTube is really like a calming place. Twitch can get kind of hectic sometimes. And when you're low energy like I was yesterday, it's not the best. See, yesterday was one of the prime examples when I should have streamed on YouTube. I'm gonna get rid of these. Yeah, I should have streamed on YouTube yesterday. But the good thing is that I have the Xbox emulator ready. I downloaded it yesterday, and we tested it out a little. Mega Manuel, he sent me the another emulator, and I was thinking of playing Pac-Man World 2. What do you think of that? We can play Pac-Man World 2. It's another game that I used to play when I was a kid. It was actually my mom's favorite game. Oops, sorry. Yeah, I just want to play. I want to play more on emulators because, to be honest, wait, why is my music off? The live stream ended. Oh, there you go. Hold up. What was I saying? Yeah, honestly, like every single new game, just like it either sucks or like I'm really not interested in playing it. I'm just not interested. So what I want to do is I want to play and think of like as many games as I can that I played during my childhood. So there's like yeah, Jet Set Radio Future, there's Pac-Man World 2. What else did I play? I played well, I never played it, but my parents did. They played this game called Voodoo Vince. It's on Steam, and I think it's like $15. I think I could probably buy that. And I don't know. I had some of the Harry Potter games. At the Harry Potter games, not all of them, but like at like 2 of them. And yeah, just a bunch of old games, if I can remember most of them. So you can get a peek of my early gaming years. I've been gaming since I was a little itty bitty child. As an itty bitty child. I'm not gonna play like every single game because like I've had games like Halo that my parents played, and I've never played Halo before. I have Halo on Steam. I just like never play it, and I don't really plan on because I don't really like those kind of games. So yeah, and yeah, that's the plan. If you have what do you call it? Let me see what the emulator's called actually. He sent it to me before stream started, but I didn't get a chance to look at it. Let's see. Okay, so the one he sent me was for the Nintendo GameCube. Yep, so we got that. We got the Nintendo GameCube. So if you got some games for that, then you let me know. Oh yeah, Dolphin too. I could like download Dolphin. I can do I think it's called BlueStacks. I think BlueStacks is if you want to play like mobile games, and then I can play what do you call it? I can play Plants vs Zombies. But I definitely want to get into older games, so look out for that. Look out for that. Oh, Dolphin is the GameCube emulator. Ah, okay. Play Luigi's Mansion. I'll play a bunch of different stuff. In the Discord, you can put recommended really like any game that you want. I do want to download BlueStacks as well. I'll try and figure that out another time, probably tomorrow. What I could do is like I could not stream tomorrow and like concentrate on downloading emulators. I could do that, so I can play legally, because CDs don't exist anymore. And I also do want to do like more chill games. Like I do want to play The Sims as well. I think I have a link where I can download The Sims 2 with like almost every single expansion pack, which is cool too. So I might download that as well. And yeah, just I'm gonna change things up from being a little less chaotic and a little bit more chill and retro and stuff like that. Oh, don't get me wrong, we're still gonna be chaotic as hell, okay? Who do you think I am? You think I'm just some like chill person that's like okay with just like sitting there? Hell no. I gotta rage once in a while. And of course I'll still be playing, you know, like Elden Ring. I have to finish that game whether I like it or not. I have to end up finishing it. But as much as I hate it, I still have to finish it. YouTube's copyright is more vicious. Yeah, it is. What is this platform? Never heard of it. I have no idea. I actually forgot. I got short-term memory loss. Well, you get a noticeable audience there at this point. Oh, well, you got a noticeable audience there at this point. Yeah. I didn't get the, what do you call it? I don't know if it's because I was using OBS or something. Like, I really don't know. But, like, I was about to say Twitch chat. It's not Twitch chat. It's, chat didn't show up on screen like it normally does. So that kind of sucks. I really like, seeing your guys' message on screen. Emulators infinite content. Yeah, well, like I said, I want to play some like early years Xbox games, like Xbox games from like the OG Xbox. And I don't know if I'm able to play 360 games on that same. No, because the intro had the OG Xbox intro. So I think I'd have to get like a completely different emulator if I wanted to play like 360 games or like Xbox One games. Wait. I want to check something. I want to check something.
They told me time heals foolish hearts, but jazz and time just fall apart.
Ah, it's $40. Okay, I'll play it. I'll buy it. I'll buy it when I get paid. I officially start working September 2nd. So I'm not gonna be working for the rest of August, but September 2nd is when I officially start my new job. So I'm happy. I'm happy about that. And yeah, so that's what we're gonna do. From now on. I'm really excited to continue working on the maid model. I do want to make some changes, obviously. Like I've still been looking at more references, and I do want to make some changes. Like I actually want to change the shoes. I want to change the shoes that it has now. Like the shoes aren't bad, but I feel like they're kind of like plain, and I found one that I like a lot better. So I'm gonna do that. No, I'm not gonna do a ball toggle. I'm not gonna do a bald toggle. No. No. Bad. No. No ball toggle. Oh no. I was thinking. Should I get a chibi version of the maid model? I'm kind of curious. Should I get a chibi version of the maid model? Because I got in contact with this art studio that makes chibi models. I had to cancel on them during when I was preparing the re-debut because I was running low on money. I couldn't spend any more on it. So I was thinking of like but it's only if you guys want it, and it also depends like how much money I have too. Maybe it'll be like the next quote-unquote model, or I don't know. We'll definitely have to think of a lot more plans. It's not like I'm gonna have like models coming out like left and right, but the maid model is gonna be like my main priority. Oh wait, I do wanna ask you something. For the maid model color scheme, you tell me. Do you want the typical white and black, or do you want to keep my current color scheme, which is like light blue and then blue, and I think there was some white on it. I don't really remember. Or so do you want black and white, or like my current color scheme? Because like the concept art we have now is the current color scheme. But I do want to get your opinion on it. Just in case. I really like the design, so I do want to keep the design with like minor changes, of course. But like I want your opinion. Here, okay. Do you guys want to see it? We're on YouTube. So we actually have a chance to see it. You want to see it? I can quickly download it. We'll make this our little secret. Hold up, let me move OBS on this screen here. Oh no, not OBS, sorry. Where are you? Oh, whoops. Sorry.
A silver glow on cobblestone street.
Shoot, my mouse.
The world asleep.
What happens on YouTube stays on YouTube. Exactly. Okay, let me download it real quick.
Stars like lanterns softly sway.
Okay, this is it right here.
Lovers who've lost their way. The saxophone hums a
Can I
beneath
view details? No, I want to download it. Save image.
It whispers dreams, it shares the sighs.
No, how can I do it as a PNG? I don't know how to download it. No. I don't know how to do it without exposing all my DMs.
Past it all in this moonlit sweet
This right here. How do you download pics off of Discord?
our serenade. The clock has stopped. The night won't fade.
Or actually, wait, no, I can make it bigger. What am I thinking? Check this out. This is it. Tell me what you think. See what we got here. What do you think? I do want to change the shoes. Yeah. Well, this is what we got. Wait, why are you on here? I need the internet on here. Yeah. So you let me know. I do want to keep the design. That's like 100% sure. I'm keeping the design, but it's the color scheme that I want your opinion on. Furry maid. Well, obviously, like, I can decide not to include that. I can obviously. At first I was thinking of making it a toggle, but then I'm like, I don't know. I don't really know. But yeah, that's what it is. It's it's the colored one. So like this one is like the final like thing, and it was like a mixture of both of them. I'll show you the original design. I asked for changes because there was one thing I didn't like, but here's the original. This was the original design right here. See, it had like gloves on it. It had gloves on it, and honestly, I don't know if I wanted gloves on it. Because it already had like the poofy sleeves and stuff. So like right here. And it had pigtails. It had pigtails for this one. But I really wanted a side ponytail, and that was like my main goal. I wanted a side ponytail for it. And yeah. So technically it'll most likely be like this middle one right here. It'll most likely be like the middle one right here. I also had another one. This one had like minor changes. It was mostly like a change in the shoe color. Let's see. This is like the first major change right here. So see, there's like this one. This was the first major change. This is like without the glove part. We changed the hair, and we added the tail, of course, and like the ears on it. But I can easily remove that. So don't worry. But I didn't want the shoes to be white. So I asked if we could color them and make them like a little bit more like designed like, and that's how we got the colored version. But I think what I'm gonna do is when I got the money to make like the maid model, like the official maid model, I want the shoes to look like this. So I want to see if it's possible if I could get that. Let's see, like I really liked the shoes on this right here. They're like boots, but I was kind of like wondering, like, should I keep them as boots, or should it just be like, you know, like the bottom that has like the straps and stuff? So like I was kind of like wondering on that. And don't get me wrong, I love boots. I love boots IRL. I wear boots all the time, except when it's hot. Except when it's hot. Lord, who's that? I have no idea. It's a reference I got off Google Images. So I don't know. You know what? I looked up anime boots. Anime high-heeled boots or shoes or whatever. And I don't know. This character came up. I have no idea who that is though. I have no idea who that is. So don't ask me because I don't know. Let me see. Can I get like info off of it? Usually, you can get info. Yeah, no, it just says PNG clip art high-heeled shoe knee-high boots anime. That's all it is. But yeah, I really want these shoes, and even if it's not boots, just like the bottom, because like I feel I do feel like the ones I have right now are like a little bit too plain. A little bit too plain. Oh no, not this one. And there's one more thing. There's one more thing I wanted. Oh, right. Another opinion. Do you want tights? I don't mind removing the tights at all. In fact, it would be quite refreshing because it's summer right now, and just like seeing someone or something wear like long sleeves or long pants just like kills me. See, that's why like I would desperately love to have the maid model right now, so I don't have to look at my model and be like, how are they wearing a jacket, long sleeves, and boots? You know? So you tell me, do we agree that we want black and white? Like keep the design, but keep black and white. I do like the blue and white color scheme because then I can keep the bow. I really like the bow. And if we change to like black and white, I'm not sure what that would look like. Since you want to use it outside for summer as well, I would keep them. They look great. Okay. Okay. Don't need leggings for cleaning anyway. Yeah. So that's something else. That's something else. I won't keep the leggings. And for you guys that don't really like it, I can ask to remove the tail and the ears. Trade the dark blue with black to see how it looks and have chat vote. You see, that's the tricky thing though, is because like I get charged when it comes to like coloring, and I don't want to dip more into the money we raised during the donathon on like minor changes. I don't know if I'm gonna be like charged for minor color changes. I'll probably you know what, I'm honestly thinking, is it possible to like change colors on your model so you don't have to like draw it twice? Because if I can do that, then I could like originally keep the black and white, or the blue and white, the dark blue and white, and change it. Cause like I don't know if we should ask like a recolor or not. I want to see if we could do that. Because if we can, then I won't have to ask for like a full recolor. But okay, so what I'm gonna do, I'll remove the cat ears and cat tail. I'll ask to remove the leggings, and same with the adjustment for the shoes. If I am charged for the changes, I guess it doesn't mind that much. It'll just take longer. It'll just take longer. But you know what? Here's what I'll do. I'll ask for the changes. I'll ask for the changes tomorrow because I'm pretty sure he's obviously like asleep now. But I'll ask for the changes tomorrow, and obviously I'll be willing to pay, of course, to do that. But I'll ask to remove that stuff, and yeah, I'll do that stuff too. And yeah, I'll probably private this VOD right here just so in case nobody sees it. Nobody sees it. But I really like it. I really like how it turned out. Yeah. You just change it to black and white. I'm really excited. I'm really excited to see it. Yeah, just some minor changes, and yeah, I'm obviously willing to change it. But oh yeah, that's another thing I want your opinion on that I didn't really get an answer for. For the shoes. Oh, I gotta scroll up. Oh, do you want to see like the OG sketch? You want to see the OG sketch? This was the OG sketch. See? This was the OG sketch, and I honestly liked it. But then I decided, like, you know what? I found an extra detail that I liked more. This is like the OG. And yeah. It had different shoes too. It still kept the tights, but like the dress was different. And I still had my long hair. But we had this one. Oh yeah, gotta move here. I have to like click back and forth because I don't want to like expose DMs. There you go. I liked the white for the contrast since the thigh highs are already both dark and light blue. It's like you belong in the labyrinth archetype. That's crazy. Yeah, so this is the opinion I want, okay? When I ask for the changes for the shoes, okay? I want your opinion. Do you want it boots like it shows here in the picture? Or should we ignore the top part of the boots and keep it as like the bottom? Keep the bottom. And like, we don't have to do it like black. It could be like, not see-through, but like they can just be like straps instead of having like black shoes or heels or whatever you want to call it. I mean, like my personal preference is boots, but I also really want other people's opinions. Probably like Photoshop or something. Nah. I don't think I could do that. Do you want to see the references I got for it? I'll show you the references. Okay, here's the reference I got for part of the maid outfit. This is the reference for some of them. And again, this is just a random drawing. It's just a random drawing. I don't think this is like an actual anime character. You see like this where I got like the puffy sleeves. And there's that there. I do want the outfit to look more like this. I do want it to look more like this. Yeah, I'll probably just have like a full, complete redesign. Here's the where is it? Where is it? Oh, right here. Here's another one of the OG designs, something like this. It's another one of the OG designs. That's probably where it got like the ruffles from. And here's the one I wanted for like the top part. Like that's how we got the cuffs and stuff. And yeah, that's it. You guys get a sneak peek. Gladly you guys were here. You guys were here to see the sneak preview. I can just close this now. Okay, but I'm gonna go to bed now. I'm tired. Okay, yeah. So that's what I'm gonna do. Alright. So... oh yeah, this is OBS. So I'm gonna put this over here. Over here. I gotta go tell everyone. If you do that, I will time you out. Or you know what? I will quit playing Elden Ring. That's even worse. I'll stop playing Elden Ring. If you do that. Okay. Is there anything else I got? Tyranny. No. It's my stream. I get to make the rules, okay? You don't get to make the rules. Sorry, but you're not in charge around here. Last time I checked, I was the one in charge. That's right. Think next time. Think next time you decide to speak back about me and call me a tyrant. Think about it next time. Okay? Think about it next time. I dare you. I triple doggy dare you. Think about it. Okay? Okay? I'll be watching. I'm always watching. I'm always watching. Ha 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 ha. When will your tyrannical rule end? The day I graduate. The day I graduate. Yes, that's when it will end. But even then, you won't be free. Even then, you won't be free because I'll be sneaking. I'll be sneaking somewhere and you'll never find it. You'll never find me. So technically, never. It will never end. Ha 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 ha. Okay, I'm gonna go to bed now, okay? Oops, sorry. Get rid of that toggle. But yeah, so that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna add, it was, I guess it's 30, I guess. Because I gotta convert it to Canadian dollars. Ugh, Canadian, am I right? Keep it there, okay. Is there anything else? No, there's not. So I'll see if I'll be here tomorrow, and if not, it'll probably be because I'll be downloading all the emulators. But until then, if you have a very good night. Thank you for joining me tonight. I wasn't sure anyone was gonna show up, honestly. I wasn't really expecting anyone to show up. I was just gonna like listen to my audiobook, draw a little bit, and then just like be done. So thank you for joining me. I really appreciate it. Now I know I can do some more YouTube streams when I'm feeling bleh, and I just want to like chill. So we can do that next time, okay? Obviously I can dual stream as well, but the problems when I dual stream is that I pay a lot more attention to Twitch chat than I do YouTube, because if I have Twitch chat on OBS, I can't have YouTube on at the same time. For some reason it won't let me do that, but that's fine. Okay, Anyway, bye. Bye bye. Have a good night. I mean, except for Mana Seeker, because, you know, he's European. So it's daytime for you, isn't it? Okay, so for us, good night. And for Mana Seeker, have a good afternoon, or whatever time it is over there. Okay? Bye. Bye bye.
A fragile heart that the night might break. The swing of the clock, a soft refrain, echoing my solitary pain. Street